Happy Saturday, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. This is Daniela, and this is my reflection on the readings and the videos about racism. And I will do my best to keep it short. I know last time around I rambled on a little bit and got off the topic, so I will try to focus and knock this out. As I was preparing what I was going to say for this video, I kind of kept going on in circles because I didn't know what to share or how to share it, and I had so much to say about the movies and the two books, so I decided just to wing it. So first off, I want to share a little bit about my own personal perspective about racism in my own personal background. I lived all over the world growing up just because of military family, and I had a black godmother in the midst of all that transition. And so I had a very odd experience with different cultures and races and just people in general. And I'm very lucky to have that experience. And looking back, my very first boyfriend back in like elementary school was a black guy or boy or kid. We were so young. And I remember my reaction of my parents. Not that it was negative, but I could tell that they were trying to be positive. Even as a young kid, I could feel that conflict, and I think that's the word that was used in one of the videos. I think a woman was talking about her family and how she had two black adopted cousins and how she could feel the conflict. I remember that word that she used really stood with me. And I could feel that. My parents were really struggling on what to do. Anyway, so just interesting how what we're reading really ties into memories and experiences and reevaluating what we've been through. When it comes to the readings, I really like the book by Bell. I like the way that it's set up to learn these theories and ideas in this history in a format that isn't so by the book, chapter by chapter, part by part, So that's kind of refreshing. But the other part of me is, it gets kind of intense, and that's kind of, it makes you want to turn to the next page, which I guess is the whole point. And the other book, the social justice book by, I think, Adams mainly, I like the way that's set up too, because it's so many different other people involved in the chapters. It's not just one person's, a bunch of little sections by different people, which is really neat. Overall, after doing the readings, I realized how much I don't know about racism, or just even history of racism, or just history in general. I think on page 59 of the social justice book, there's a really good breakdown of the history of racism, which really caught my eye on how much things I didn't recognize, or certain events I didn't recognize, or don't remember a lot of, monumental things that everyone's kind of heard of and we pretend to know a lot about, but we don't know a lot about. There was one of the videos that stood out to me about I think senator or some kind of political icon that was a Nazi. I had no idea. I was like, I don't know, just a big eye-opener. I have the feeling that this semester is going to be an eye-opener for a lot of us, and I guess, I feel that we're in an environment where hopefully we can all share and open up a little bit and really dive into the readings and the movies that are assigned to us. One thing that probably stood out, a couple of things before I want to wrap this up. I know I'm kind of getting to the end of my time, but I like how the readings are somewhat newer, like the section about Obama and being multicultural or multiracial or black, or how people treat him, how he was elected, why people voted for him. That's touched on this book, and that just means that this is I don't know the year this book is made, but I don't know, just it's nice to have more recent resources. And then the other thing that stood out, and then I'll stop, I promise, is on one of the videos, there was a poem called Smiling, I think it was, and it was a reflection of a woman, or a man, I'm not quite sure who the author was, it was spoke by a woman, about how she smiled when she saw a black person. She made eye contact and she smiled. And to her, that was her way of reassuring herself and her attempts to the person that, you know, she's friendly, she's not racist, she's welcoming, she's not scared. And it really made me realize that I think I do that a lot. I hate to admit it, I guess, but I think I do it to, like, anyone that's not physically apparently like me. And that's, I hope I don't regret saying this out loud, but it was just like, wow, like, I don't know. I'm curious to know if anyone else, if that hit anybody else the same way, or if that was kind of like a red flag, or if a thought bubble appeared when they heard that part of, I think it was, I forget which video it was. It may have been video, let me look real quick. It was actually the first video. And another funny thing about the video is, like, a lot of focus was in Iowa, and I'm from Iowa, or I have lots of family from Iowa, and I could definitely claim from my perspective and my experiences that, yeah, there's some pretty bad, not bad, pretty interesting perspectives and opinions and ideas that I listen to my family, and I listen to just people I know everywhere, not just Iowa. I'm just picking on Iowa because it was mentioned in the video. And I just remember growing up and listening to what my parents say and what family says, and it just proves that children are just sponges, that a lot of the stories and a lot of the videos all started off with, my parents said this, my grandfather said this. It just makes you think that, you know, if we stop that cycle, it'd probably make a big difference. But I know that's a utopian way of looking at it. But okay, I'm wrapping up. It's 7 minutes. Thank you.